I'm Big Cal, and welcome to my world. Today, another Star Wars books video, and we take on the final book in the Darth Bane trilogy, Dynasty of Evil. And this is a fantastic conclusion to the Bane trilogy. It's definitely really, really close to the first book for me. Better than the second one, which is still good, but as you saw in my video, I sort of forgot a lot of what had happened. It sort of merged together with what I was reading at the time with this, which was a shame because the second book was still really good. I think I didn't do a too good job explaining it in the video. Anyway, this one. We are now 20 years in to Darth Bane being the one and only Dark Lord of the Sith and his apprentice Zana with him. And it's getting to the point where it's been 20 years now, she's incredibly powerful, but she's made no effort to take over from him. And Bane begins to wonder if maybe she's, not the one. She's not motivated enough, and maybe he needs a new apprentice. Maybe he needs to look elsewhere. Well, at the same time, she begins to suspect that maybe that's what he thinks, and maybe she should finally start, looking into finding who she could have as an apprentice before she kills Bane, because obviously she wants to know that there's going to be someone to take over from her eventually at some point. So we have those, they're still together, but at the same time they're both weary of each other and like, what's going to happen? We don't really know. Lots of interesting things happen in this one. Bane discovers the location of another old Dark Lord of the Sith, I believe Darth Andedu. Yeah, there's Andedu. Yeah, that's his name, I believe. Probably pronounced terribly wrong, but who cares? And he developed the essence transfer technique to basically live forever. For people who might be familiar with more of the extended universe, Palpatine did this, where he transferred his essence into clone bodies, and I believe he even tried to do it into one of Han and Leia's kids at some point. I think that was in the comic books with the extended universe years ago. Excuse me. So essence transfer, he's looking into doing that, and he finds the holocron that will explain it all to him. And of course, when he's looking for this, he sends Zana off on a mission so that she doesn't get suspicious of him going somewhere. And she's going to look into why a Jedi died on this sort of remote mining planet. Not the same mining planet that Bane came from, mind you. And it turns out that, there was a Jedi there supposed to, be a go-between between some rebels and the royal family on the planet who were sort of going at war. But what it was really there for is the fact that the miners had found some Sith artifacts, and he went to retrieve them. And unfortunately, he ends up getting killed by an assassin who was hired by a bodyguard for the royal family to kill the rebels because they'd killed the prince. So now we have, oh no, Jedi's been killed, what's going to happen? So the princess, she goes to basically talk to the Jedi, this had nothing to do with anything, it was just an accident, some mercenary, I don't know, someone's killed, a Jedi, it had nothing to do with those, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out she's Caleb's daughter, a healer from the previous books who had saved Darth Bane twice against his will and had been sliced to pieces. And she's no idea what happened to her dad, because she left the planet. Her father sent her away when she was 16, don't come back here. This evil Sith Lord's probably going to come back one day. You don't want to be here when he does. And that's exactly what happened. While she's talking with the Jedi, basically on Coruscant, something happens and they come up bringing up the war and things, and Sith Lords, and he takes her to a monument to the 6 Jedi, or was it the 5 Jedi who died at the hands of the last Sith Lord, as well as a man called Caleb. and this is how she finds out that her father's died, and Darth Bane was responsible. So she gets a bodyguard to hire the assassin now to hunt down Darth Bane, and they actually capture him. They're able to capture him. They catch him by surprise. They use a poison on him that he doesn't recognise, so it basically paralyses him, and they chain him up and try to torture him. Zana, while she's looking into seeing why this Jedi was here, find out about the Sith artifacts. Turns out there was a Dark Jedi also there looking for these artifacts, so she hunts him down, hoping that maybe he can be her new apprentice. He agrees, sort of. It's not really the best relationship. And then they go off hunting after they find out that Darth Bane's been taken. And then there's this huge thing where it's sort of a rescue mission, and Bane is, getting free at the same time, while Caleb's daughter's wondering whether or not she should actually kill Bane or let him go. She's got some guilt. And then at the same time, Zana's like, well, I've got an apprentice now. I think I should kill Bane. They get into a fight in this prison area. Bane doesn't have his lightsaber with him, and he's still weak from the poison, but he manages to escape. The mercenary ends up becoming Bane's new apprentice, because she is strong with the Force, but she's never been trained with it, which Bane considers really impressive because she managed to capture him, basically. The Dark Jedi, his name was Set. He was never really going to be an apprentice, he was just in it for himself. He discovers that Darth Bane had brought this Sith holocron with the essence transfer abilities in it, the technique and how to do it. He brought it with him, and so he goes looking for that and buggers off. Sadly, we never hear from him again. He's only in this book. So Bane, with his new apprentice, realises, yep, Zana and me are going to have to fight, so he gives her his coordinates, and they have a huge battle. Really, the battles that what's the word? Can't think of the word. I'm terrible. Depicted. The battles that are depicted in the books are fantastic in the Darth Bane series. It's his name, Drew Karpyshyn. That's how you pronounce his name. I probably butchered that. Really does a good job at writing out lightsaber battles and things like that. So they have a huge battle right at the end. Bane realises he's going to lose and starts the essence transfer. His body is destroyed, transfers into Zana's mind. Boom. Gone. Turns out Zana survived. She's the new Sith Lord now, takes on the mercenary as her apprentice. But there's a slight bit at the end there, slight tease that Bane actually survived and is the one in Zana's body, which has led to many theories on the internet that Bane is in fact still alive at the end of this, and simply put, he has always been the Dark Lord through the generations. Every time his apprentice becomes more powerful and tries to kill him, he does the essence transfer and becomes them. The author, I believe, has stated that no, Bane is in fact dead at the end of the book. It was just a little bit of maybe some of his essence is left over within Zana. So there's still a piece of him in there, but it is Zana and not Bane, which is a shame. And that ends the Dynasty of Evil and the Darth Bane trilogy. Absolutely fantastic, like I said. It's a wonderful trilogy of books. This book is right up there with the first one. Rule of Two, the second one, is in the middle. It's not as good as 1 and 3, but it's still fantastic. All three are worth a read. And the author was actually involved in writing the Knights of the Old Republic story for the game. So he does have a lot of experience writing the older stuff before the the Republic as we knew it in the original Star Wars films. So he definitely has the qualifications to write about some of the older stuff. He's done well in the past with it. Yeah, so a great book, great finish to the story. It's such a shame that we don't get to find out what happens to Set, because this is his one and only appearance in the book. This is now legend, so fuck knows what's happened to him. It would have been nice to find out, what happened to him with the holocron. Did he figure out his secrets? Did he end up, becoming rather powerful and eventually challenge, Zana and her apprentice? The fight between them, obviously, he would have lost, I'm guessing, because, Zana and her apprentice continue on the Sith line. As far as I'm aware, the only sort of reference to Set again is with the holocron. I believe Darth Tyrannus, aka Count Dooku, finds the holocron that was previously in Set's possession, but that's about it. So yeah, great series, fantastic. Read them, all 3 books, in less than 2 weeks. I think I read this one in 2 days. Yeah, it's not the longest book. It's only 300 and odd pages. But yeah, I read through it fairly quickly because it was fantastic. As was the entire series. So, I'm Big Cal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.